absolute favorite and most trusted doctor passed away last year. And after processing all of this, there are a few things that I would love to share in her honor that I've learned from her over the years that have made the biggest impact for my personal health. And it's the things that I teach my coaching clients about in one-on-one sessions. This is really the foundation of all that I believe for gut health and transforming your health overall. I truly believe that Dr. Becky Plotner was one of the most knowledgeable gut health experts of her time and probably for the next several years, because she truly knows how to get to the root of somebody's illness, and her knowledge is just so extremely vast for every single chronic disease that's out there. It's made a huge impact on my family. So in this video, I'm going to share the top 3 things that I learned from her, why it's made the biggest impact on my health, and how it maybe can do that for you as well. So the first thing that I learned from Dr. Becky is really why chronic illness exists. Why does one person get chronic illness and why does another person not? And for this, she really brings everything that she has ever seen back to the microbiome. She believes that it comes down to the terrain of somebody's body, how intact these beneficial microbial systems are in the body for whether or not a disease expresses itself. And I want to take it a little bit deeper. So with Lyme disease, for example, she noticed that some people get bit by ticks and don't get Lyme disease, and some people do. Actually, many people get bit by ticks, and relatively speaking, very few of them actually get the disease. Now, the reason for this and the reason why the numbers are actually climbing, partially due to the epidemic spreading, but also due to the fact that our microbiomes are not what they once were. Now, she would say that it comes down to the terrain of that person's body, the microbiome of the person's body, as to whether or not they will actually express a disease. And people most often are addressing all these external factors, all the mold and then toxins in their environment and whatnot, all of which I think are very important. And she would say that. But the thing that I learned about her the most that I really appreciate is that she takes more of a individual approach, like a autonomous self-healing approach, where she believes that it really starts with your body and how capable your body is at tolerating the environment around it. So she would be the first to say that antibiotics really need to go out the door and stay out the door, because so much of our body's immune system depends on our gut health and how diverse our microbiomes are. She taught me really to fight tooth and nail to not take antibiotics and really prioritize that microbiome first. Number 2, the second thing that she taught me was the most healing food. And she would say that animal fat is one of the most healing foods on the planet, and specifically cholesterol. She actually had a really big hand in changing my family's view on cholesterol. If you've seen any of our past videos, we did a podcast about it, talking about how cholesterol is really demonized in our culture. And we had this whole view of how it worked and how you needed to lower it and whatnot. She actually believes in increasing cholesterol anytime your body's in a healing state, because your body, your cells, your brain, your gut, they all need it desperately. And so often our culture is just obsessed with getting it lower for reasons that actually she would probably say are not even actually accurate. Really, for me, learning that fat is not the enemy was huge to my healing, because I started to incorporate tons of animal fats. I started changing my diet to actually accommodate for a higher animal fat content. And that was really what changed it, you guys. If you know my story at all, so much of my chronic symptoms circulated around post-concussive syndrome. So after a few pretty traumatic brain injuries, my brain had so many chronic issues, and really what it needed was cholesterol. It needed fat, but I was on this sort of like pseudo high fat vegan version of that, where I basically was low fat. And she actually was the person who recommended us having upwards of 12 plus egg yolks a day, full of cholesterol and full of healthy fats, as well as much healthy fat like cultured cream, animal fats that we could tolerate. This was a game changer for my fatigue. This was a game changer for my husband's chronic issues, thyroid issues. She actually spoke to us a lot about how this can actually transform your sex drive, because your hormones, your sex hormones, are so dependent on cholesterol. And so that's what she'll recommend to people, is increasing the egg yolks if you need to increase your sex drive. And that really just comes down to the nourishment it's giving your thyroid. So I also learned a lot from her about fat digestion. She shared tons of information about how to actually get your body to digest fat. Her blog is actually still full of that same information. You should go and check it out if you are struggling to digest fat, because it is so important to the healing process. I truly believe, in the same way way that she probably would say, the more fat that you eat, the faster you heal. And I found that to be completely true in my life, but you have to be able to digest the fat. And so it's a whole process of being able to do that. It's something that I work with my clients regularly about, and it's a very common struggle for people nowadays. And the third thing that I learned so much from Dr. Becky is why people get so stuck on the healing process. Now, she's an avid advocate for GAPS. If you're not familiar with GAPS, just gut healing diets in general, where you increase the fat content, increase the probiotic content, and you're eating whole foods that are very gut friendly. But she also notices a reality of the day and age we're living in where people are often getting stuck just taking a nutrition forward approach. Not that that doesn't matter, it really does matter, but over 10,000 new chemicals created every single year. We are inundated with toxins, heavy metals, contaminants in our water, in our food systems, in our environments, in our grass, like literally everywhere. So often that's actually not enough. We actually have to start addressing the toxic load in the body before people can actually start to see results that they're looking for. And that's where I see people often quit. That's where she often sees people quit. She really helped me to overcome a lot of that. I listened to so much of her content, meeting with her, just hearing like, how do you actually get these toxins out of your body safely and effectively? It is a very controversial thing in our culture of like, how do you do it? And I feel like every single functional doctor has their own methods, but our bodies are under an insane amount of oxidative stress or just stress from the toxicity of our world. Just living as a normal human, you are exposed to so much more than you would have been years and years ago. And so it's not abnormal for babies to just even be born with high toxic loads and needing to address that right off the bat. Her teachings have really given me perspective as to what is the real root cause of this. Why are people not able to heal? Why are they getting stuck at the nutrition level? And how do we actually break through that? That was something I learned so much from her about. And honestly, you guys, it made the biggest game changer for my family when I learned how to get to the actual root of our issues. Which brings me into my program. I have developed a 6-month program for anybody who is ready to get to the root of their illness, who's ready to address the microbiome, really get to the toxicity in their body in a safe and effective way. And it's called the Whole Health Blueprint. I basically take people through step-by-step healing their gut, getting the foundations right, detoxing their bodies. We're going to talk about heavy metal toxicity. We're going to do all the different detox practices, teach you how to integrate them into your life in a sustainable way. And we're going to do some nervous system work because I really believe that a body can't heal when it's under stress. So we're going to take a look at the whole picture. I'm giving you all the resources necessary to really get started and continue healing. This program is only going to be open for a select number of people because I really want it to be highly personalized, a high touch program where it can truly take you from confusion and overwhelm in your healing process to clarity and peace so that you can conquer your chronic symptoms naturally. So if this sounds like you and you're really ready to take the plunge, go deep, get all the tools in your tool belt, all the support that you need, and really get to the root of your illness. This is so much of what Becky taught me is going to be what I'm pouring into this course and really wanting to equip you and give you the same tools for. Click the link in the description to apply. There will be a free blueprint clarity call to see if this program is the right fit for you. And we would love to have you. I would love to meet you and really help you to conquer your chronic symptoms naturally. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was a good tribute to one of my favorite doctors out there and really somebody who's just made a huge impact on my life and my perspective for healing and gut health and getting rid of chronic issues. Thanks for watching.